Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, riveting, and amazing Propagandacast with me, host and Pearl Dane, the one and only master propaganda heroes like defender of the fatherland, off each one me one own road to Tunis. In the west it is Wolfe, fighting here for the British Empire, the Commonwealth, King George, tea, biscuits, and things we don't talk about, but which, you know, a lot of the British nobility have engaged in. So, fighting here, though, with the 7th Armoured Division, the Desert Rats, they have found themselves face to face with the German Fallschirmjägers there and Fallschirmpioneers of the Fallschirmbrigade Ramke. Watching with some Fallschirmpioneers, so thumbs up there to Dexn. Oh, poor Jürgen there. There's somehow managed to grab a hold of his parachute as it went off him. Classic Looney Tunes moment there. As always, big hearty thanks to my patrons and supporters for the continued generous and wonderful support of the Propagandacast. Keeps making all these videos possible, and a big thank you to commenting and liking on them. You know, it really helps a lot with the algorithms, spreading out the videos further. So, Air&Sea for Wolfe responding to this German airborne shenanigans with, you know, airborne stuff of their own. They're obviously commanders and totally not British paratroopers, despite wearing British paratrooper uniforms.
An infantry section of Tommies has been trained.
Rifle section awaiting orders, sir.
Details. Anyways, double section sappers. We got machine gun Fallschirmpioneer there for Dexn. Marching his men northwards, then service of Das Fahrzeug with the Fallschirmpioneer, of course, spearheading the effort. South side, British sappers and sections are advancing as well. Gloriously for the British Empire. Bingy 42 popping in there. Looks like he's making a bit of a bounding action, basically shifting here and here, and then also making use of the intelligence he gave from this, like, more safe to drop in the Fallschirmpioneers, because he could drop in here aggressively, but if the enemy's around there, obviously Fallschirm will be retreating. You don't want that, obviously, so, but by doing it like this, you can, like, you know, make a more, you know, leapfrog pattern towards it more safely. In this case, also catch some Tommies elsewhere, so I'd say this is a pretty savvy move there by Dexn. Well played out, I think, well thought out in his head. So well played there by Dexn. And of course, suddenly shift the tables here against Wolfe there a bit, but they're going to have a section here, but he can bring up the enemy force to support them, so he can still try and threaten the fuel point, and of course, there's still the flank around here, which is a bit more of a contentious point, but set up correctly like this, it does require a bit more effort now from Wolfe to counter flank here. And we got the Fallschirm punchman, I think, to perhaps cover the other flank, so really good early strong push here by Dexn against Wolfe. And we get the officer score as well here to boost the Fallschirmpioneer and the machine gun. There goes Sapper charging in there. Section flank exploring the slight gap here in the south of the machine gun. Very good counterplay for Wolfe and the Brits. Catch the machine there, neatly dropping neatly there. Fallschirmpioneer taking the heavy losses. At this point, they need to retreat. I mean, so versus the British sections, you really have to be mindful of the fact they are incredibly good at wiping units on retreat. Because they have, like, I think, a much higher degree of accuracy combined, you know. And also factor in they're just kind of really sturdy. So yeah. Fallschirmpioneers white. That's definitely a thing you always have to be really mindful around the British infantry section. They are deceptively good at, like, just taking out the, you know, units there, like I said, you know, you make you think they can't, but you really can, like, wipe out units if they're too low on health here, so it's definitely something you have to be very mindful of. Unfortunately, Dexn wasn't. Scoring here, Wolfe already a fantastic one against the Germans. Catapults being threatened here, the situation from the German getting a bit messy, though. You can see Dexn up the southern front here with another Fallschirmpioneer drop. That's the third squad inbound here. It's Wolfe. Wouldn't be surprised if we see some tech soon. Machine catch the section here. Narrowly printing fuel pump or catapult being in the route. So that was a really close call there for Dexn. Panzergrenadier company on the way there. I'm still planning some Fallschirmjägers, but he's not for now. Breccia section's moving up there. In the southeast section versus Fallschirmpioneer. The Veterans 1 does help them to, you know, do just a bit more work there. As they become a bit harder to hit, so it does somewhat level out, but even then, as you might notice, not by that much. Do not when the section gets zone Veterans 1 bonus activated. And there you go, commanders ready here for Wolfe. We got Dexn and the Germans very much pressured here by the Brits. Panzergrenadier company right about done. I expect Panzergrenadiers here out of Dexn. If they can tackle the Brits quite well, though, you might as well go for Fallschirmjägers. I mean, as long as it's not the Australians, they can work out. Because the Australians, they typically do not recommend Fallschirmjägers. Why? It's a great way to beat Fallschirmjägers for not really much to show for it. Meanwhile, Wolfe keep up pressure, calling in a chill as well here. Caught upon the instructor, great instructor play by Wolfe. On top of that, of course, we have the commanders with their silenced Sten guns. Right, accelerating the machine gun team. Really messy spot here to be in for Dexn. He's barely getting any fuel men, his opponent's getting plenty. He has, I think, thankfully for Dexn sake, yet to tech up, but that's really all it that's going on there. We got MD-15s for the Fallschirmjäger in the air. He's not a fan of that upgrade myself. I still think it's not very good. So I recommend grenade launchers, which is not upgraded. There you go. Tech though for Wolfe. What will be next for Dexn?
We're losing a victory
Fallschirmjägers,
point to enemy action.
hack. Panzergrenadier. And there's only a few paths here Dexn could, go on here against Wolfe.
Victory point under
Wolfe, I
enemy
mean, there's
control.
obviously also plenty of paths he can pursue right now, though. I'm guessing a Humber armored car is very much in the charts of the near future. Commander's hiding out here. They're going to sneak in. They do have a mine here. Please think clearing of it. Very fortunate here for Wolfe's commandos. Less so for Dexn's Fallschirmjäger. They're going to immediately dropping Ludwig. Reinhardt joining in there. It's Heinz there, and there you go. Finally pushed back with the Bravo and MD-42. Otherwise, the German troops just were not doing enough damage compared to just the sheer amount of damage the commandos they were just spitting out. There you go, Dexn anti-dropping in some Fallschirmjägers, and quite aggressively at that too. I mean, there's not really much of a way here, I think, for Dexn to immediately support them if, there turns out to be a bit more hostile environment. So, definitely very bold there out of Dexn, but yeah, the Fallschirmjäger Ramke was the only German Fallschirmjäger unit in North Africa. Was basically just brigade. The large number of Axis paratroopers in North Africa was just straight up Italian paratroopers. And I get to see them in games of, playable form. I think they might show cutscene, that's it.
Enemy infantry getting shot, see that? Keep fighting!
Second is prep MD-42. Officers' quarters there for Dexn and his Panzergrenadier company. There you go. Good chance of getting wiped in the section. That'd be definitely very helpful for Dexn and the Germans. Much less helpful though for Wolfe. He's also got the buildable centaurs there lined up.
Victory point.
And there you go. Section cut down. We got more moving up though. Don't lose his upgraded section as well. That's extra painful there for Wolfe. Extra savory there, of course, for Dexn. Pop veterans on those deal with better damage. There goes section flanking in. South side feels a bit forgotten here. Dexn is aggressively behind it, obviously. Fallschirm Pioneer there getting completely disassembled by British marksmanship. But the others moving up with the MD-15. French and MD-42 here. Sappers in with the closing in the Fallschirm Pioneer. They got the nose bomb there off. It's just a big old rout here for Dexn, and the MD-42 gets wiped. That's a bad development. He's calling it straight from it. Just keep the Brits off it for a bit longer. It definitely is a bit desperate, but at the same time, you can hardly fault him for that as well either. Unfortunately for Dexn, it just doesn't pay off, but at least he tried. But for now, Dexn is in a very, very tough state of affairs here. Calling in more Fallschirmjägers, turning to the elite powers here. The Fallschirmjäger Ramke turn things around to now for the MD-42 in the British hands. Definitely going to be quite the challenge to turn things around here for Dexn. Not impossible, but, emphasis on challenge. Meanwhile, Wolfe expecting some kind of vehicle armor soon here. Pulls in the 6-pounder gun just to make sure it doesn't get, completely blown out by a single Stroop or 250.5 tank. Or the other end, he obviously does not know which of the two buildings Dexn so far has gone for. There's been no indicator, so Could, of course, just be concerned about, you know, 2-1 or Wilman right now.
The beggars are threatening a victory
Which, I mean,
point.
isn't it at all a bad assumption to make? There you go. Fudgeman's going for the fuel point again. But there you go. Unfortunately for Dexn's
Victory point is in enemy hands.
Fudgemakers, they are being matched here with an MD-42 that just, you know, fell into the British hands a couple of moments ago. There you go. Sam's doing loose here. Tommy's doing it. There you go. Tracking that grenade. Come on, Reginald. Toss that number 69. Stop laughing. We'll give away to the Germans. And Fudgemakers wiped. The glass, part of the glass cannon there, very much coming into play there. They continue to, I think, emphasize the glass part and rather the cannon part of the Fudgemakers, personally. So what will Dexn do next? More Fudgemakers? Stoogs? Attack? We'll have to see, but losing a Fudgemaker squad definitely is a painful blow. There you go, more Fudgemakers. Dexn believes in the Fudgemaker dream. Bring down there, Commandos push back. Dropping in again aggressively. Once more, a bit of a weirdly attached parachute there. Double MD-15s there. Both section upgraded with recce packages here for Wolfe.
The beggars are
Some
threatening a
further tech
munitions
released
point.
here, which is supposed to small bit of relief there for Dexn. I'd also say, very fortunately for Dexn, and a bit odd here for Wolfe, is we've yet to see a single light vehicle, like no Humbers, no Stuart light tanks, which does mean, you know, Dexn can always just focus on all the infantry and doesn't have to, like, worry about, you know, having to need anti-tank. And of course, always in a pinch pulling the LG-40, but even then, like, you know, still be diversion of resources and attention. So, that does stand out a bit as well there in the
We're
matchup
losing a
so far.
munitions point to enemy action.
It's not like Wolfe is committing that heavily to Commandos either. So it does feel like he's very much being directed by the concern, like, you know, a Wilman rush here, more than to an extent here. Yes, he also just wants to, like, rush up maybe the Centaurs. South up Pioneers being forward to come to command post there, slowly getting ready here for Wolfe and the British Empire. Commander sneaking about, British force moving in the centre, got the Vickers team as well. Oh, Vickers MG42 team. Ah, yes, the Vickers MG42.
The
Did
enemy
Vickers
has
make
300
that? Well,
points
no, we just
remaining.
wrote Vickers on it. Hoping no one noticed. Immediate emplacement there for Dexn.
We're losing a victory point to enemy
And a
action.
Pack 40. The Panzerabwehrkanone 40.
Position taken.
Commandos here! Now what?
But the South Pioneers continue largely uncontested there, though
Butcher and bolt,
I think
that's us.
that is about to change. He's got Commandos of the section moving in. They're about to aggressively contest that Pioneer squad of North Fudging ping with MD-15 to gain the sappers. Also, Fudging Pioneers probably more likely to be equipped with an MG-34 or the 42 than an MG-15. So, they definitely consider elites. They're more likely to actually get the good stuff. Not the MG-15 necessarily was bad, but as a light machine gun, it's crucial to note it's certainly a fair bit larger than the average light machine gun. Making it a bit more unwieldy. Little fun sight now there. And got Tully called in here, right into the advance of the Fudgemakers. Dexn managed to get his men out of harm's way. It's that way. Probably into another way, getting out there. Meanwhile, Panzer Company for Dexn. So right there, go flanking the wreckage section. And there goes Centaur on the way for Wolfe.
Commander.
Got the section on the run. And running the corner here. Several Fudgemakers with FG-42s.
The beggars are
Penta
threatening a
Pioneers
victory
spotted,
point.
routed, and further up north, the Fudging Pioneers continue a slow circumvention of the centre. Panzer Company halfway done, and the Centaur there is also halfway done. Ooh, Vickers might have made a bit of an error here.
Capture point is being
They
overrun.
flanked even one punch will fly there. got the old MD-15 of actually 2 heat shredding them. Safing one as well here, and got it. Catching the nearby section, and suppressing them briefly, allowing him to get back the MD-42. Nice work there by Dexn. That's a bit awkward for Wolfe, of course. With the centre out, that can very quickly change again. As it rushes forwards. Further south here, the commanders was the Fallschirmjägers. Backed up the flamethrower sapper, scattered the crossfire here. Fallschirmjägers routed. We got 470 versus 257. Saps keeping the pressure. Up north, he looks like the Centaur's about to strike the German base and cause some havoc. Panzerkompanie at the ready. Moving in the Pack 40, trying to catch the Centaur here, because right now, Dexn has an extent. Oh, we just got the Fallschirmjägers nearby, but the outlawn helps, it might be a bit tough to get safely within range so far for Panzerfaust against it. But Dexn's going to make the attempt, and it might cost the entire Fallschirmjäger squad. With actually there you go. Pack scores another hit on the Centaur. Not too far over my Panda 4 there. Cut-off point shot again. Good harassment play there by Wolfe. Thumbs up to that, and we got the MD-42 still advancing.
Aircraft ready. Leaving our gas line.
Even if they are quite low on health, there you go.
Commandos begin their
Something called in. Doing his best to try and prevent the Germans from just like grabbing back the cut-off point too quickly.
job done. Heading home.
There you go, another commando section called in. This time the LMG section with the Vickers K, which similar to the MD-15 was actually a machine gun adopted from aircraft machine guns that used to basically left over after the aircraft got upgraded to bigger ones.
Waiting on you.
Fun fact there. Imperial advancing, got ace level on them. Right there, and there you go, Dexn with the Panda 4. Commanders rapidly dispatching the Fallschirm Pioneer squad there.
We're losing a victory point.
Far south here, German forces sneaking about.
Conditions nominal. Ready to drop.
Going for the ice of the machine gun team. Team got the Fallschirm closing in swiftly with FD-42. The commanders making a return here. May need to make a decision here swiftly. Quick turn around to the commanders, and I think it's a bit too late now, maybe not. There we go, yeah, it ends up being too late. He just has to retreat now. At least he did retreat, I think, roughly in time there. But should I think switch target faster or breach the building with the Fallschirmjägers, which is something they can do, so that way at least hold a bit more of a advantageous piece of terrain there. I'll await Panter's route here for Dexn and Deutschland to support the Fallschirmbrigade Ramke.
The beggars are threatening a fuel point. Typhoons armed with RP-3 rockets are on
Typhoon's
standby.
ready.
A victory point is being overrun.
Squaddy's dogging us up. Take it
Commander sweeping in. There you go, Panther ready.
Victory point under enemy control.
6-pounder scores up the test, gets to the side on the pad punching, bring goes off. There you go, punching pioneers get bombarded by the Centaur, it's 75mm howitzer. 149 to an 18. Package gets a great hit on the Centaur. That veteran 2-1, thumbs up. Another great shot there. South side here looks like the Pioneers very much got put down by the Brits. Also, fun fact about German anti-tank guns, they would actually typically have like, a series of small cross sections of various tanks they could expect to run into with the weak points, pointed out on them. Like, assist in knocking out tanks. These just copied from various like manuals that have online there. So, that's a bit of a fun fact. I think it was believed used on both the western and the eastern fronts. I imagine it also got used in North Africa and elsewhere. It's one of those very interesting details I find that gets next talked about, but I think it's really cool. Bunker there for Dexn, thumbs up. It's got cheap reinforcements. Fallschirmjägers at the ready here. Another Centaur for Wolfe. Definitely seems like more British players are just turning to Centaurs. That ability just, there are a lot of them. Actually, the ability to just start blasting German tanks is on the armor just to kind of matter. 130 plus 218.
Orders complete!
British forces slowly advancing again. We got 430 to 118. Casualty wise, smallly hit at Dexn. 2 points wise, more sizable lead there to Wolfe from the Brits. And you got Centaur crashing through the southern path here. Second Centaur looks like we might see a bit more pinch move, but that also means they're isolated, so theoretically Dexn could do a lot of damage one at a time. And there we go, Veteran Driver is activated. There's a rear head. Email Centaur push going in for the British. Forces fighting mix on it, but also commanders are hiding up the train is leading up there, so fucking blasted, pack shoots whips, and got a German Leute called in. Go from more here. There you go. Got the large inbound Centaur diving straight through here. Being hammered, and we got a British rocket Leute as well here. Heading German position. The rockets go streaming there. Massive clouds of black smoke being kicked up here. Commandos down. Wow, another section down. Holy moly, the losses are catapulting here upwards. That did not work out too well in the end for Wolfe. He was just, I think, a bit too sluggish, which Dexn then was more than happy to, you know, punish him for. Even got more Panzer IVs here for Dexn. Thumbs up. This might also make the whole Centaur strategy start to fall a bit apart there for Wolfe. Even if he does have multiple of them with their abilities, they may struggle, of course, with just multiple Panzer IVs, especially with Dexn.
Royal Engineers on the field and ready for your
I
orders.
could take a few more hits as well.
Type in stride. We're heading back.
So, we got a section all the way down south. He's just there to defend the point. I mean, at that point, you might as well just build a machine gun nest down there. I feel like that just tends to be a bit more cost efficient long term than having an entire combat unit, like, you know, frontline infantry squad. You know, just sit back there and just, you know, enjoy themselves a nice cup of tea. Hold down Panzer IV. Second one out here for Dexn.
The beggars are threatening a victory point.
411 at 10 versus 18. Dexn has almost got a chunk out now as well.
The enemy has our victory
North
point
infantry
now.
fighting there, complete round of the commanders, Panzer IV exposed here. 6 pounder gun engaging shots, got the 6th more run, we got the veterans from emergency activated. Commanders here, also way that the 2nd Panther IV going to be a significant header here, and we get another Centaur for Wolfe. Meanwhile, south side, Fallschirmjägers got the point, but they finally got pushed off here. And wow! Dexn's going for a 3rd Fallschirmjäger squad. He's going for more anyways. Got the Recce section putting up a brave fight here. And is routed. Meanwhile, artillery fire for the Brits. Going down here across the south side. Fallschirmjäger need to be careful. Centaur, Panther IV, that's ready. 368 to 218. Armor training here as Wolfe decides to push his Centaurs to the limit versus the German Panzerwaffe.
Centaur close support variant in the field. Make way.
There you go, 3rd ready.
Six-pounder anti-tank gun ready.
352 versus 218.
Snipers ready to provide air support. We've lost a sector to the enemy.
346. Clock is ticking. Fallschirm Pioneers laying loose, and there you go, Centaurs running through here. There you go, Fallschirm Pioneers being caught here, hammered by the double Centaurs swinging around it. Centaurs swinging through here, gaining out. Fallschirm Punch wants to get out there as well. Anti-tank gun up there, could in the Panther Force, I think there. There you go, Veteran Driver is activated. But the Panther Force are quick to back off here once they realise they've been baited into a trap.
We're losing
Responds to the
ammunition
Dexn.
point to enemy action.
South side meanwhile, Dexn is just basically seizing it all up, and he's got the Schürzen on the way, the side skirts, thumbs up to that. It's a good upgrade to have maybe opponents using abilities like that. You know, whatever you can do to like just make the tanks last a bit longer versus that, I think it's also bad. Upset there by Dexn, what the Wolfe is more than happy to punish him for. Already got one pen point diving into the Centaur's going to try and take out the other one here. We do have the armored sides guys ready now, but that again the health from that's more, but the extra armor is effective. There goes second pen fall down here. One mistake by Dexn, and suddenly both those Panther falls are left burning in the hot desert sun. But there you go, Fudgemakers at the ready, intercepting one of the Centaurs, blowing up the British tank inside the base. They're cooking off the munitions and the crew in the process. 311 versus 218. Commandos charging the Fudge, but they've been given a hold fire order. Wolfe realizes a mistake. At least the extended has to tell on until I fire. Medic bunker down. Actually, the Fudgemakers see, and there we go. Might take out another Centaur. Can he get it off with the Panther Faust here? Yes. No. Got out of range. There you go. Another Fudge squad that gets the job. That's another Centaur done. Third one moving in. Ace level. There we go. Obviously not enough to, like, you know, damage the engine. It's not enough to make things a bit uncomfortable for it. Definitely threatening here, hoping to get off another Panther Faust. 292 is 218. Fire up north here. 6-pounder pushed away by the Ace Fudge and Pioneer. The veterancy combined with their firepower forcing back. Here we go. 5 points for the Southern Victory Point. 282 versus 218. It's hard to work. They're closing the gap. Sappers for Wolfe.
Our opponent is in control.
Need to repair his remaining Centaur, though he also, I think, needs more tanks. As for Dexn, I mean, could go for another Panther soon. We might just throw some infantry. There you go. Panther more for Dexn. Thumbs up.
We've got enemy fire! Orders complete!
252 is 218.
The Bosch are pushing hard. We're down to 250 points. The enemy has claimed a sector. The Navy is ready to obliterate enemy emplacements.
Navy will not be ready from Wolfe. I don't think he's going to do too much for this Dexn. It's not like Dexn's playing like a very static game, so I think that would be a waste of munitions unless Dexn falls asleep. Who gets hauled off by mysterious men. For reasons that are best not talked about. Commanders in trouble. Got the fight for the game. We got 2 squads in the east. Look very good here for Dexn. Less so, of course, for Wolfe's infantry. He's got 65 raining down here up north. Centaur about to get Fausted. There we go. Could this be the end of the final one? These veteran one, as we have finding a new Centaur here for Wolfe. They continue to trend this on nothing else. As at least highlight that, you know what, they certainly can do some nasty stuff with the veteran's ability. But they do also have some weaknesses that can be exploited by the right top commander. Got a loiter in the centre. It's a Centaur is moving in as well. There you go, hit the Luftwaffe. Panther getting some shots in. Pat 40's already seen. They got cleared up with the Brits. They want to come see there you go. No loiter work though. Almost got the remaining Centaur. Down it goes. Definitely relying heavily on numbers, and unfortunately, having lost them, you know, they quickly fall apart. Unfortunately for Wolfe, though, fortunately for Dexn, they do fall apart. Luftwaffe there, we've got the sapper section finished off there. Section down, and there you go, GG's from Wolfe. GG's. Victory for Deutschland. There you go. Nice little fight here. There's some interesting plays on both sides, but as mentioned, the whole Centaur strategy really requires a lot of critical mass to work, and you cannot amass it. You certainly take losses. As you might notice, it does start to fall apart there, so definitely some unfortunate moments there for Wolfe. I think he just not pushed into the base there of Dexn and just pulled back. I think it would have been in a much better state. I think that was him getting too greedy there. And I think that was basically allowed Dexn, I think, to have a good chance of clawing his way back into the match. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed the match. I've learned something from it. This is Imperial Ancient Cheers, and see you all tomorrow for another episode. Bye, everyone.